right? So here's the framework that we're going to talk about. We're going to go in depth for a couple examples here. And so what we've done is put together basically kind of an innovation to innovation framework and think about the different ways that we have to change the way that we think about the world and how we can actually apply these learnings. So first one. So innovation being, this is the way that we see a lot of the world coming at the problems, and we want to move ourselves, our culture, our people, to this exponential innovation mindset, right? Now, throughout these next 3 days, you're going to hear a lot of, the incremental, blah, to the exponential, right? You'll hear that time and time and time again, obviously because that's the main mantra here at Singularity University. But really living into that is very, very difficult, right? It requires us to invest in a new way, to take chances, to really go at this problem of exponential change, of speed, in a whole new way. Speed, right? Faster and faster times, faster and faster disruption, and the majority of our clients in every industry are really facing this problem, right? So it's going to be funny for me to say this, but tech-focused, moving towards people-focused, right? The technologies are tools applied in the right way, they solve a lot of problems. But we can't forget the people in each one of these, right? Who and what we're building for is an absolutely critical step that we have to make sure that we're keeping them involved, right? So activity. A lot of people talk about innovation theater. There's a lot of things that have been going on in the press here recently around, I collect a lot of ideas. We engage a lot of people. We invest a lot of money in the innovation projects that we're doing. What is the net output, right? What is the achievement that we were able to do, no matter how large your innovation system or process or operations is? If you're not launching new products or services or value to the market, it ultimately is going to fail, right? So turning your attention and focus over towards the output, the ROI. What are we building and launching in the market to create and sustain that value? So theoretical. So discussing concepts versus launching prototypes. We all intuitively sense, I think, that there's a lot of opportunity for us to say, this would be a beautiful concept. This is a great thing that we should build. Someday we should. How are we going to think about turning on an engine that allows us to innovate much, much, much faster and build prototypes, experiment, launch them, and learn, right? A little less talking, a lot more doing, right? And then ultimately, idea negative. Right? How do we move towards this place where, the bad till proven good is now, we're going to start from this place of great assumptions. This is an amazing idea. How do we disprove it? So often as you're collecting many of these ideas, you start to actually get into the system where you're a little bit scarcity mindset, right? How do we move towards that idea of abundance? We have got plenty of opportunity around this idea. We're going to support it until it's proven that it can't work. How can we run that experiment in the right way to be able to do that? Right? And then, so prediction versus exploration. Now, we're futurists by the nature of what we do. Predicting out that future is obviously a role that we play right across our community. But exploring into it as an organization, not just looking at the macro trends and saying, okay, we know, because we can see certain economic trends going on around Wall Street or wherever it may be, that we predict in the next 2 or 3 years, this is where our industry is going to go. That's a step. But ultimately, we have to be able to explore that unknown future ahead much more rapidly, right? We have to move into this exploration mindset. So we're always curious. We're always wondering. We're always pushing ourselves to be able to say, can that work? How can we actually leverage these technologies? How can we think of a new way to keep up with that speed, right? So conservation versus ideation. One thing that's really interesting, the more disruptible you see your industry being, say retail or banking, where there's a lot of different disruption going on,